So Oktagon hooked me up with this exclusive card, Tekuthal, Inquiry Dominus. So the text goes, when you proliferate, escalate. This effect can only trigger once per turn. Activate 5 blue if this creature doesn't have prevent damage. Card you control with oil counter 3 or greater at random loses oil counter 3. If you can't, a creature you control with power and toughness 3 or 4 or greater at random gets -3/-3. Then this creature gains prevent damage. So what I found this card to be good for is just doing a little bit of extra proliferating. Works really well with Ikor Moon Gauntlet. When you activate Loyalty or Vanguard ability, Proliferate Escalate. Kind of doubles the Proliferate Escalate one time when you have Tekuthal on the board. And then the oil counter stuff, I found this card to be pretty good for raising your oil counter, churning reservoir. And then it also creates goblins, which then Ovika can take advantage of. So what I like about this deck is that it basically is a goblin engine. And yeah, let's have fun and show you what it's like. Tekuthal on the board here early will help. So we're proliferating here. So that's going to really build up our goblin now. Try and give this guy oil counter as well. That proliferates, which will raise the oil counter and then make our goblin stack a little bigger. Okay. Try and get Ovika down before we start doing our larger spells. Get Rite of Flame going. I don't need that. Cut your losses. So we got the gauntlet down. That gives us another swap. See if we get more spells on the board before we use our Ren and 7. The cool thing about Tekuthal is that getting prevent damage on it is really not that hard to do. And you can continuously use your cut your losses. Which will very much help keep your loop or whatever you got going on going. This isn't really a loop, it's just a really long turn that is just building up goblin stacks to high heaven. All the while proliferating and escalating. And now we could use our Vanguard for whatever reason we want. So yeah, with our shield, when a player casts a blue spell, that player's first creature with that oil counter gains oil counter. That player gains X mana. X is the total oil counter value among that player's. So this is a really good deck for this node here. Hit objectives pretty easily. And yeah, so final thoughts on this card. It's definitely not essential. It just kind of helps things along if you're using a proliferate escalate deck or oil counters. It helps a lot with certain things in that regard, but if you're not going all in on either of those strategies, it's probably not going to do a whole lot for you. If you don't have the gauntlet or inexorable tide, it might not do much for you either. So if you don't have those cards yet, I'd probably save my money until I do. So yeah, there's my quick review. But thanks again, Oktagon, for sending me this card to try out and give my thoughts on for the community in general. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video.